the dash between life and death, living with passion, not regret. There are moments in life when we stop and realize that our days are not infinite, that the hands of the clock move faster than our dreams. Most people drift through life waiting for the right moment to begin living. But as Seneca wrote in on the shortness of life, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. The story of Ferrari represents more than a brand. It is a metaphor for passion fused with excellence, the relentless pursuit of something greater than oneself. To own a Ferrari is not simply to possess a car, but to embody the discipline, ambition, and creativity that built it. It symbolizes the human urge to transcend mediocrity. As Enzo Ferrari himself once said, "You cannot describe passion, you can only live it." Dreams and the courage to fail. From childhood, we are taught to dream. Yet few are brave enough to act upon those dreams. Howard Hughes, a man of both genius and madness, once declared that he preferred failure to regret. His words echo a timeless truth. The worst pain is not in trying and losing, but in never trying at all. Nietzsche described this as the essence of the Übermensch, the individual who dares to create meaning in a meaningless world. To live without passion is to live half dead, and Nietzsche warned, "He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow." Passion gives that why. The entrepreneurial spirit. In business, as in life, the distinction between the entrepreneur and the employee reflects two states of being. The entrepreneur takes responsibility for their destiny. The employee often places it in the hands of others. Yet, those who rise to the top within corporations are usually those who think like entrepreneurs. They take risks, own their decisions, and lead with conviction. As Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, put it, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Those who simply occupy a chair in an office, waiting for time to pass, are not living. They are existing. Every subway car in Paris, New York, or Tokyo is filled with such faces, blank, exhausted, defeated. Albert Camus would have recognized in them the absurd man, one who continues to live a life devoid of meaning simply because it is easier than rebellion. Yet, as Camus reminds us, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Freedom, meaning, and the dash. We often believe that success lies in wealth or stability, but true success lies in freedom. The freedom to choose how to spend your brief moment between birth and death. Someone once said that life is represented by the dash engraved on your tombstone, the short line between the year you were born and the year you die. That dash contains everything you are, yet it says nothing about whether you were happy, fulfilled, or alive in spirit. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Every day, we should live with that awareness, not in fear, but in gratitude. The illusion of problems. We spend much of our lives worrying about careers, relationships, reputations. But as soon as we die, all of it dissolves into nothingness. Epictetus, the Stoic slave turned philosopher, reminded us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The moment you truly accept mortality, most of your so-called problems lose their power. Even Steve Jobs, who lived at the intersection of passion and mortality, said in his famous Stanford speech, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose." The Last Supper mindset. To live authentically is to live as if each day were your last supper, not in despair, but in intensity. To savor the taste of existence, to love fiercely, to create fearlessly, to forgive quickly, and to walk away from anything that kills your spirit. When you realize that you are only a temporary guest on this planet, everything changes. The fear of failure disappears, and what remains is clarity, the realization that life is not about permanence, but about presence. As Henry David Thoreau wrote, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived." Conclusion: make the dash count. We are all living that tiny dash between two dates, a fragile line that defines our entire existence. Most people will let the dash pass unnoticed, consumed by routine and fear. But a few will make it shine, through courage, passion, and love. At the end of the road, the question will not be whether you succeeded in the eyes of others, but whether you lived fully, with fire in your heart and no regrets in your soul. So live like it's your last supper, because one day it will be.